Hell,
Stand by.
it's about time.
Hey, how are ya? Noxus Flack here, and welcome to the first of many episodes of the Axis and Allies video game from 2004. This, I believe, is abandonware. I can only find, let me know in the comments below if you can find otherwise, I can only find my old CD. And because Windows 11 is going to be forced upon me at the end of this year, and I'm going to build a new PC because my PC is so old it cannot have Windows 11. I think this might be the last opportunity for me to actually play this game. I don't know if it can be played on Windows 11, but I've always wanted to play it on the channel. It is a World War II RTS game. This was the World War II RTS game that I played. I did not play the much more popular ones. This was the one I was introduced to. So, before we get started, don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to see my full playthrough of Axis and Allies, don't forget to hit that bell button. So Axis and Allies is, of course, a classic board game. It's similar to Risk, right? And in this game, we can play the two campaigns, the Allied campaign and the Axis campaign, and then we can play World War II, where you pick one of the major countries of the world. You start in, like, I think it's 1942, but I could be wrong, and then you can have your own alternate or very accurate to history playthrough of World War II. So what I'm going to do is we're going to hit the campaign, and my plan is to actually play the, we can do the tutorials, but the Allies campaign. Afterwards, we will then play the Axis campaign, and then I'd like to play World War II as each country. World War II is what the board game looks like, but it's very cool. It's like, imagine a Risk board or an Axis and Allies board. You have units on countries, just like Axis and Allies, and when you actually attack someone else's territory, you don't roll the dice like you would in Risk or in Axis and Allies. Instead, you have an RTS battle in that country. So if you were to invade Britain as the Germans, you can hit auto-resolve, and like a computer-generated percentage dice roll will basically happen. Or you can actually fight in Great Britain, and I always thought that was so cool. So before we get started with the tutorial, disclaimer. My real name is not Noxus Flack, but I'm an American from the Midwest. And like most Americans from the Midwest, I know people and am related to people who fought in World War II. Guess which side I think is the good guys? That's right, I think America is the good guys. So if you come in my comments when I'm playing the Axis campaign and say, I can tell you're a white guy from your voice, I bet you're a... I'm not. I'm sorry to disappoint. But there is a second thing that's worth mentioning. I am an American, but on my dad's side, I'm part Eastern European. So most Eastern Europeans would agree with what I'm about to say. We think that the Nazis were bad, but we also think that the Soviets were bad. Most Americans can figure this out, right? After World War II, there was a Cold War, right? The Nazis were allies with the Soviets until the Nazis betrayed them, right? Like, but you'll notice that, like, I say nice things about America, I say medium things about England, and I'm not super much of a fan of the Soviets. That doesn't mean I like the Nazis. Please don't make that. These are just bad. Okay, with that unfortunately necessary disclaimer out of the way, let's play one of my favorite low-key, a lot of people haven't heard about it, RTS games of the early 2000s. So let's start with the tutorial. In your first tutorial, you will learn about regiments, movement, combat, base building, formations, and using special operations.
Welcome to Axis and Allies Basic Training. All information provided you during the training session is recorded to your message log. To view this message log, click the flashing message log button.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, what do we think about the graphics, folks? What do we think?
These men comprise the 1st Infantry Regiment. Excellent. You have the regiment selected. The interface now shows you a variety of information about your regiment, such as health, morale, and economic upkeep. To change your view of the map, you can move the mouse pointer to the edge of the screen. Move your mouse pointer to the left side of the screen to reveal a compass marker. Good. Move your regiment toward the compass by left. Notice how the fog of war fades away as your troops survey the surrounding area. You will always see the terrain through the fog, but you will not see your enemies until they are within your visual range.
And some basic
Good
RTS
job.
stuff.
Don't start patting
Controls
yourself
here.
on the back just yet. Your next goal is to move your regiment to a nearby headquarters. However, a German regiment has deployed in this area between the regiment and your
Germans.
headquarters. You will need to engage and eliminate. If you want to retreat from combat, you will need to use the run command. If the combat has dragged on and you
He's
to
chatting a
engage
lot.
the enemy troops, left-click the attack button in the lower right display. Then left-click on the German regiment. The Germans have requested reinforcements. You are too weak to defeat them alone, but your own reinforcements have arrived to cover your retreat. Select your regiment. Excellent. You have successfully retreated from
Bravely
battle
run
without
away.
losing your regiment. With the help of your reinforcements, re-engage the Germans and destroy them.
I don't know what the recorder just saw, but my game freaked out right then. I hope we're good still. Oh, my baby's crying. I'm gonna need to provide a binky here in a minute. So we've been given Russian units, you can tell, because of the Russia, but also the accents. And then the weapon types, you got the Mosin Nagant, you've got
Skillfully
the
done, soldier. You have defeated both German regiments.
Pizza
now
plate
move your
gun.
infantry to your headquarters, also known as your Corps HQ.
and then you got the PPSH, also
Do
known as the
this, select both
Papushka.
groups of regiments by left-clicking and dragging a selection box around them. Then right-click on or near your Corps HQ. You'll need to generate more income to support a larger army. Your most important resource is money. Money is the only
There's the money.
resource that can be accumulated, and it is used to pay for all unit recruitment and building deployment. Money is gained from your headquarters or HQ building.
See how much money I'm
First
making
type
from
of
it.
HQ available to you is an infantry
Ammunitions,
division HQ.
Fuel.
To create one,
Housing.
select your Corps HQ. Click on the now click on the infantry division HQ button to place
This is how
one
you
into a
build
queue
buildings.
for deployment.
And then this is how you research techs. There's normally more than all of this, and then you can also see there's an ammo depot truck, and then this will show up underneath my resource bar to show you what it'll change. There's a bit of, it's not a glitch, but you see how it says it'll take my income from 25 to 37? That's just
The
when it comes
infantry
out as a
division
truck,
HQ has
and then
been
it gives you
deployed
more
and
when you
is
like
represented by a
unpack.
single
Now it'll
truck.
be 50.
All your important military buildings are transported via trucks.
And it's
Gain
per minute,
access
so
to the building's
60
functionality,
is
you need to
1 a
unpack
second.
the truck first. Go ahead and select the truck. Excellent job, Commander. Your rate of income has improved.
I'm now attaching my
Upkeep
units
is the
to this
foundation
building.
of your economy.
You can
Need
only
oil
have
and
6
ammo to
infantry
equip and
per this
fuel your
Russian
army's
infantry.
regiments.
Now that they're
Compensate for
attached,
these
they can
costs, you'll
repair,
need to deploy
heal,
and unpack
resupply,
more HQs
and replenish
economic buildings called
units.
depots. Now look at your stats bar. It displays your ammo and oil rates as well as your money. To support a larger army, you will need to increase your ammo production. To do this, you will need to recruit an ammo depot truck. To create one, select your Corps HQ and click the deploy button. Great, now select the ammo depot truck and unpack it.
So the ammo just went up. 2004 Time Gate, which is now an out of they went out of business video game company. Pathing, you're gonna run into a lot of that. Yeah.
Perfect. You now have extra
And then
ammo
here
to
are
help
the
support
supply
your
lines.
army. While your regiments are combat worthy, you will need to deploy more troops to increase your army's size. Division HQs have multiple uses. Click the infantry regiment button. This will deploy one more infantry regiment to complete your army.
I'm gonna try to try to finish this tutorial before I deal with my lovely child. I think
When
this is just a
regiments are
binky
deployed,
situation.
only the commanding officer is recruited.
There
The
he is.
regiment must supply the rest of their troops in before entering combat.
And you can see, like, you can walk away.
However,
They'll keep
supply can
replenishing.
only occur within a supply zone. Notice the green line surrounding your base. That is your supply zone. Regiments can also resupply troops if any member of its regiment dies. However, this only applies to attached regiments. Attachment is indicated by the badge on a regiment's banner. The same badge is also displayed on the banner of the Infantry Division HQ to indicate that the regiment is attached
This is what he's talking about.
Your previous troops have suffered some losses. Since
We've already done
the
this,
infantry
yeah.
regiment has acquired the division's HQ badge and already begun to resupply. However, note that there is a limit to the number of regiments you can attach to your infantry division HQ and all other division HQs as indicated by the slots on your division HQ. All regiments have access to 3 formations: assault, aggressive, and column. To change formation, first select an infantry regiment. To select this regiment's formation, left-click on one of the 3 available formation buttons.
Lowers max speed, aggressive attack efficiency, column, you can move faster.
Formation lets your regiment attack at full force, but reduces its speed. Aggressive formation lets you move at average speed, but reduces the regiment's attacking power. Column formation increases the speed of your regiment, but greatly reduces its attack effectiveness. In every mission, you have access to a list of special operations that you can request from your commanding general and are unique to each general. Each special operation you request requires you to spend experience points, which are gained as your regiments experience combat. The total of your accumulated experience points is displayed near the Special Operations toggle. Commander, it appears we have an infantry regiment that is trapped behind enemy lines and needs help.
So we're dropping a supply
to aid
drop.
Them, select the supply drop button from your special operations and target our infantry regiment.
But as you can see, they're not attached. But this infantry regiment is double promotion, so it's Mosin Nagant, regular infantrymen, do 8 more damage, which is almost double. The PPSH-41 submachine gun, the Kami-Tami, the Papushka, gets again that damage increase. The grenades get a damage increase.
Another regiment whose experience will later benefit you.
So experience is important.
This completes the first portion of your training.
And you can see the experience level here.
Supply chains, airfields, engineers, and battleships. Continue to the next training mission.
Alright, we'll pause real quick here. So we have done the first tutorial, and we're going to do the second one. Supply zones, airfields, paratroopers, capturing cities, engineers, battleships, and beach landings.
Welcome back, Commander.
Commander!
We have a few more things to train you on, and then you're ready for the battles that lie ahead. Not all buildings generate their own supply zone. In fact, the only building to do this is the Core HQ. All other buildings, including your division HQs and supply depots, must be built within another building's supply zone to provide their own zone of supply. Notice that you have an infantry division HQ that is out of supply.
Oh no.
To extend your supply line from the Core HQ to your infantry division HQ, you will need to deploy and unpack a supply depot truck between the two. To do this, select your Core HQ and click the deploy button.
Alright, so the supply depot will actually provide 5 of each resource, but more importantly, it'll actually extend this line. But in some of my more like long-term missions where I want to maximize my economy, sometimes I build like 20 of these because they don't cost housing, so I can have more money-making division HQs.
Is filling up. If the division HQ gets cut off from its supply source, it will keep on providing supply for a limited time until its stockpile supply is depleted. To the north, there is an island with a city that you need to capture. However, there is no way to get ground troops to the city. You'll need air support to capture it. Airfields grant 2 distinct benefits: reconnaissance and bombing raids. First, you will need to scout the city to determine its defenses. Go ahead and select your airfield. Good. Now click the Air Recon button. Now, click a location near the city to send a fighter plane to scout the city.
P-51 Mustang. This is what the Ford Mustang was named after, which is cool. Yeah, if you're really into like World War II, like history and tech, you're gonna like this game's attention to detail.
Make it difficult for your paratroopers to capture the city. Order an airstrike to destroy this bunker. Select your airfield, then click the airstrike button.
Why do they keep taking my...
An airstrike sends bombers to drop bombs on the enemy.
It's a B-17.
Left-click the bunker to mark it as the bombing target.
That's cool. And I clicked air, like they're defending. So if enemy fighters try to shoot it down, they'll fight them. And if there's an anti-aircraft gun here, they will actually strafe it. And enough of these guys can actually destroy an anti-aircraft gun.
To capture a city, you must destroy all enemy bunkers and troops occupying it. Now that the bunker is destroyed, send paratroopers to finish the job. To do this, select your Airborne Division HQ and click select the Airborne Infantry Regiment button, then left-click a location within the city limits to send them there. On the
job. And then if you watched Band of Brothers, this should look familiar. So this is a paratroop, or airborne division, excuse me, and we're sending one here.
Now that you have captured the city, you will need to
all got Thompsons,
making
baby.
it harder for the enemy to capture. To do this, you will need to make use of your engineers. Engineers are special regiments that can repair buildings and construct bunkers. Engineers can build 3 types of bunkers: machine gun, artillery, and anti-aircraft. To construct a bunker, select the engineer regiment and click the build button. Click the bunker you want to build and select the location you want to build it. The engineers will automatically begin construction.
Yeah, and they went into a lot of detail. So I always thought as a kid when I was playing this that the airborne divisions were better because they all carried submachine guns. I'm gonna try to see if that's true. But since they all carry submachine guns, that means none of them carry heavy machine guns and none of them carry bazookas, because there's some bazooka, you know, or whatever country's, you know, rocket launcher thing. But airborne's cool in this game. So, yep, they're building an American bunker.
Good job, Commander. Remember that your engineers are not only builders, but they can repair as well. A nearby supply depot appears to be damaged. To repair the supply depot, select your engineers and right-click on the damaged supply depot. Your engineers will move. In many missions, you will begin with a battleship instead of a core HQ. Battleships are offshore vessels that let you deploy troops from the water and bombard the shore to help you establish a beachhead. Before you land any troops on the island, you should eliminate the bunkers on the shore.
You get to use the giant guns.
Select your battleship.
Yeah, this is cool,
Now,
but they cost
the
resources per turn.
Excellent. To deploy troops to the beach, left-click select an unguarded location on the beach to send your troops there. The battleship will send a transport to land on the beach and deploy your troops. Now that the infantry are deployed, send a core HQ truck and unpack it on the beach.
Man, these are expensive to have. So if you have no income at the beginning of the mission, which is normal when you have one of these, you know, amphibious missions, you need to quickly get stuff on the ground.
On your feet.
Why are they running away?
We'll be there. It's the general. Open fire.
Great work! This completes your training. You
There's
are
an enemy
equipped
base.
and ready to tackle the toughest battles.
There's Germans
Now get
in
to
Hawaii. Okay. And there you go. That was the end of the tutorial. But you know what? I think it's time that we start the Allied campaign. So, as you can see, there's quite a few missions. This will be a bit, but let's start. I think the point of this is to show the starting point from like what year it is. So we're not starting in 1939. We're starting at the burning of Moscow. And the Russians are doing what we stereotypically think Russians would do, and sending waves and waves of human meat to get shot, which is kind of sad to think about. The Desert Fox, Erwin Rommel, has rolled through North Africa, leading his Africa Corps, forcing the British Army in Egypt to their last defensive line before Cairo and the vital Suez Canal. Through a valiant defense, the British have stopped Rommel's advance, buying time for a counterattack that may change the momentum of the North African theater. But the Desert Fox, ever cagey, has prepared a devastating minefield in advance of the British forces, taunting them in their attempt to avert the unstoppable flood of German forces. And then you can see a little, like, this is what the board looks like when you play the world map. Alright, let's go. So you have a couple German divisions, a mechanized infantry division, and then we have a tank division. And the music kind of seems desperate. And then you can see the engineers have laid mines.
Good afternoon, chaps. This is no time for chit-chat, so listen carefully. Our first efforts at dislodging Rommel and his Africa Corps have failed. He's mined the whole desert. Nevertheless, the order to push him away from Alamein comes from the very top, so we're to see that it's done, no matter the cost. Good luck.
Camel. All right.
Come to attention, lads. Right away.
So I have a little strategy for this one that I like to use.
I wish I'd thought of that. I wish I'd thought of that.
Prepare well before striking. Bomb them to oblivion.
The camels or the trees or something's in my way. There we go.
For a nice stroll.
So they were kind enough to start us off with some defensive barriers
Ready, sir.
and a mechanized infantry. So of course we're the English, so we have Enfield,
Come to attention, lads. Ready, sir.
a Vickers machine gun,
Ready, sir.
a little Stuart tank, which is actually an American tank.
Their secrets are ours.
I don't want a light tank regiment,
Ready, sir.
so
Forward, march.
we're gonna slowly build a force. Where did the truck
Must
go?
win this together.
Ready, sir. Right away, sir. Forward, march. Come to attention,
They're all
lads.
stuck on each other.
Forward, march.
So this is expanding these supply lines.
Here we will stand and
So I want to actually make a little bit more money, so I'm building another infantry division even though I don't need it. And then you'll learn a little bit about the tech tree as we play. So to get a medium tank regiment, which is a good, like, doesn't cost too much, but still does a decent amount of damage, upkeep's somewhat manageable, you need something called a motor pool.
bomb them to
So there's a lot going on here, basically, is what you need to know. Alright, so
Ready, sir.
while we are building our army,
Forward, march.
we are going to start heading. I like to ride the railroad to their base. That's the way I tend to do it.
Ready, sir.
So you can see the fighting. Machine gun guys take the right positions, riflemen. The vehicles have a little bit of a longer range.
Ready, sir.
Right now, since we're in supply, we can actually
their secrets are ours. We must win this together.
get back,
Ready, sir.
everyone heal up,
Come to attention, lads.
or even if they're gone, get completely replaced.
Ready, sir.
Alright, let's move on to the next one.
March. I wish I thought.
Here we will stand and fight.
Ready, sir.
So it's a German 88.
I was hoping for a nice stroll. Come to attention, lads.
I do enjoy how, like,
Come to attention, lads.
very British they made the English.
Forward.
Now listen up, chaps. Yeah. That's such an American's perspective of an English person
Right
talking.
away, sir.
Alright, and they're all healing up before we move up, destroy the next German position. On the map, you'll see 2 and 3. These are actually secondary objectives. You don't have to do them. I plan on doing them, and just let you know, the one's the only one you actually
Over the
have
top,
to do.
lads.
Prepare well before
And you
striking.
see we're doing like 2 monies per second. I like to really, this is the number of buildings we're allowed to have. And as I've said, these supply depots don't count. So they give you resources for nothing and they expand your supply lines, but
Come to attention, lads.
they're not very, like, they're not giving you a lot, you know.
Come to attention, lads. Ready, sir. Right away, sir.
Alright,
Bomb them to oblivion.
let's get me another infantry division HQ because I need to make more money.
Ready, sir. Forward, march.
The next thing I should do is I want a medium tank regiment.
Ready, sir. Forward,
Scoot on up.
for king and country. Ready, sir.
And then you can see that they're gaining experience. He's got 26, 38, 42. Just this interaction in combat is giving them experience, by the way.
Ready, sir.
Although it does seem we have some morale issues.
Lads. Ready, sir. Come to attention, lads. Forward, march. Come to attention, lads. Right away, sir. Over the top, lads.
Alright,
I wish I'd thought of that.
get a medium tank division. You can also tell there's a lot of blank spaces on like options of what I can build. The tech tree is limited because it is mission 1. They don't give you everything.
Ready, sir.
Under their classic RTS trope.
Come to attention, lads. Right away,
Alright,
sir.
and then as you can see, we have reinforcements coming. But we actually don't control those, so an ally is now appearing. A computer-controlled ally is landed to help you. So I can give them commands and stuff, but
Right away, sir.
really it's just something to distract my enemies. What accent is that? So I mean it's World War II, I do favor tank divisions. And from a purely gameplay point of view, the game says that the Germans have the best tanks, and so that plays to my playstyle the best. You can have a debate in the comment section of who actually had the best tanks in real life, but that's a gameplay thing. So I believe in this one, the mechanized units are the best for England. Infantry are like the best for,
I wish I'd thought of that.
why can't I speak? Like, the best is the wrong word. Like, the Russians can have really cheap and lots of infantry, is a better way of saying it, and they come out faster. Americans have really strong infantry from, like, they're actually better fighting. And then Japan's kind of a unique one. You kind of have to play as them to see what they're up to, but they're fun to play as, but they do not have tanks. They are very if you like tanks, you are not going to like playing as Japan. Alright, let's hit it. It's time to take over the Italian Reserve.
Come to attention, lads.
So these are supposedly Italians, but they're dressed like Germans. They have MP40s
Ready, sir.
and Mauser 98Ks, which is kind of, you know, a bit German. You can see they have mortars. Alright, so they're out of the game.
Forward, march.
Armed and ready, sir. Redeployment initiated.
So we actually can't build another tank division, so let's build a whole nother tank unit. Let's get some improved logistics, which will push out our logistics lines by 5, whatever that means. 5 in-game tiles, I guess. So we're sending everyone not just back into our supplies, but oh, come on, guys. Australians are just running into minefields. But yeah, we gotta punch through here in order to get to his base. Something else you'll notice in this game is that when we play the Axis campaign, we're gonna play this level, but we're gonna be over here. So it's the same map. You get to experience kind of both sides, which I enjoy. That's like a good from like a gameplay point of view. I like that. Oh no, and you see I'm gonna be in the negatives for my ammo once this bad boy gets made. We can have improved machine guns, faster supply rate. We can make money faster, but really what we need is just another infantry division HQ. Actually, mechanized division would make us a little bit more resources. So this is now being pulled from our income. So we now have a full stack. We can't hold on to more than this, so we'll wait for the tanks to get over there.
We must win this together.
I'll do it. I'll break my personal rule, and then we could have some improved machine guns. Why not? Sandstorm. Also, we have this Alamein town, which is giving us resources. So it benefits you to have towns. Alright. You're not there yet. The M3 Grange. But yeah, and when you play, you are always a general, and each general, they have different voice lines, which makes them different, but really what they have are these here, and so he has Codebreaker, Fighting Spirit, Carpet Bombing, and the top one's always like the best one, and then you can summon an HQ truck, but this is if yours is destroyed and you have enough experience, so you need both of those to be... We need both of them to be the case. Yes, yes, yes.
Come to attention, lads. At your command. Armed and ready, sir. Come to attention, lads.
So now that we have improved machine guns, you see that our machine gunners are going to be doing more damage. Do more of that, and then let's increase our foraging.
Come to attention, lads. At your command. Ready, sir. Forward. March. Ready, sir.
Another aspect to this game that is probably true to reality, it really does benefit a blitzkrieg strategy. If you're the sort of person who builds a beautiful base, you turtle, you wait too long, the AI is not going to be nice to you. The AI is going to be like, thank you for giving me all that time. If you're going as fast as you can and kind of rushing, the enemy forces are going to, they're going to struggle to keep up.
Redeploying. Armed and ready, sir. Ready, sir. Forward. March.
We've punched through.
Country.
For king and country, here.
Armed and ready, sir. Come to attention, lads. Ready, sir. At your command. Ready, sir.
Here we will stand and fight.
So we got a promotion.
Right away, sir. Over the top, lads. Armed and ready, sir. Enemy spotted. Armed and ready, sir. Deployment initiated. At your command. Redeploying. At your command.
So we've unlocked enough for carpet bombing, so we're gonna do it. And we've done it! Congratulations, the British forces have routed Rommel at Alamein, and he is retreating back across the desert. This victory will set in motion an Allied advance, which will eventually lead to deriving all Axis forces from North Africa. Alright, so tomorrow we will start with number 2 of the Allies campaign, the Battle of Guadalcanal. This has been Noxus Flag. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.